going to be doing a 1-week update and review of the 2020 13-inch MacBook Pro. Before we get started, I quickly want to say that I filmed an unboxing of this MacBook Pro, which included my first impressions, me talking about the specs, setting it up, and how I download Final Cut Pro and all of that in that video. So make sure you go check that out if you haven't already. I will have a link to the video in the description box. And now without further ado, let's just hop right into the video. So this is my baby. She's 1 week old. It's the 2020 13-inch MacBook Pro in silver. Straight off the bat, I'm gonna say that this is definitely the best investment I have ever made. So this is actually the base model. It has 256 gigs of storage, 8 gigabytes of RAM, all that stuff. So just the base model. And I decided to choose the Pro over the Air just because I was buying a new laptop with the intentions of video editing. That's what I'm going to be using the laptop for the most. And I've heard that the Air is not the best for video editing because it overheats, the fan just goes crazy, and it literally sounds like it's about to blow up. And I'm a very impatient person, so I thought it was better just to invest in the Pro instead because it was just going to work out way better in the long run. So I guess we'll talk about the appearance of the MacBook first. This Apple logo is like a mirror, which is the coolest thing ever. I feel like it makes it look way more bougie. I don't mind the silver color, honestly. I do think that the silver is very prone to getting dirty though, so I am thinking of purchasing a laptop skin to just cover it up just so it doesn't get like all dirty and ruined. I do wish that they had more color variety though, because I only had space gray and silver. I remember they used to have gold and rose gold back in the day, but they've discontinued it unfortunately. So I think I'm just gonna get a laptop skin because I'm a little extra like that. I just want to customize my laptop, you know? The major downside of this laptop is definitely the fact that it does not have a USB or SD card port. Instead, they have these two USB-C Thunderbolt 3 ports, I think that's what they're called, and they're right next to each other and they're only on one side and there's only 2 of them. So if you want to use a hard drive or a USB or an SD card, you're gonna have to buy an adapter, which is not cheap, let me tell you that. I'm actually gonna show you guys my adapters that I got because I do use a hard drive and I do use an SD card that I need to use for my laptop. So this is my SD card adapter. This one was $50. It's very expensive, but it does the job. But the only thing is, when I use this SD card adapter, the Wi-Fi stops working. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's the laptop or I don't know if it's the SD card. I feel like it's the SD card port, but the internet doesn't work. So love that. And then this is so tiny, but this is the little USB adapter. So if you want to use a hard drive or a USB or anything that has like the USB port, you're gonna have to use this one. This one was like $30, which is insane. For this tiny little thing is $30. Wow. And also the power adapter thing to charge the laptop has a little Thunderbolt 3 USB-C port thingy as well. So if you want to use a USB and a hard drive at the same time, you're gonna have to buy one of those like universal adapter thingies, which has like the USB, SD card, all of that, but that is like hella expensive. That's why I decided to just go with the USB and the SD card separately. So you're gonna only be able to use this one at a time if you're gonna be charging the laptops, which is kind of annoying if you want to like use all of them at once. And I also don't like the fact that they're both right next to each other. Like there's so much space on the other side because the other side only has like the little headphone jack, that they could have actually like had one here and had one here. Instead they put them right next to each other, which I don't really understand, but it's whatever. I mean, it works, so it's fine. But yeah, the adapters you have to buy separately. And then this is what it's like opened up. I love the 13-inch display. I feel like that is so much better than the 16-inch one just because I prefer laptops that are smaller just because it's easier to do work on. I feel like the 16-inch one would just be too big. Also, I forgot to mention, this MacBook Pro is super lightweight. So if you're traveling or if you want to go to like a cafe, if you're going to university, school, this is a really good computer because it's just super easy to carry around because it is super lightweight, which I think is great. One thing that I absolutely adore about this MacBook is the fact that it has the Touch ID. So you can just literally put your finger on this little pad thing and it unlocks your computer, which I think is just so cool, and it's so convenient, especially like if you're out at a cafe or something and you just don't want to like type in your password. You can just use your finger ID and it just logs you straight in, which I think is so convenient. You can also use the finger ID to make any Apple Pay payments, which I personally probably wouldn't use. I haven't used it yet and I don't think I ever will, but that is also something that you can do, which is really cool. We have the touch bar. I've been playing around with this so many times because it's just so much fun to do. I think they did such a great job with the touch bar. It's literally probably one of my favorite things about this laptop. It just makes life so much easier. Like, you can adjust the brightness from the touch bar, you can adjust the volume, you can bring up the little launch pad. Is that what it's called? I don't even know the proper technology names for this. Also, when you're typing something up, there's a little smiley face emoji thingy that comes up, and when you click on that, all the emojis pop up, so you can just like include emojis if you're like sending messages or typing something out and stuff, which I think is literally the coolest thing ever. I just love emojis. The actual keyboard as well, this is the Magic Keyboard and I am obsessed. This is literally the best keyboard that Apple have ever come out with. I just love typing on it so much. It just feels super luxurious to type on. Like, the writing experience is just incredible with this. Also, the trackpad is pretty basic. It's literally the exact same as all the older ones, except it is bigger. Personally, I don't really like the look of how it looks like really big, but I mean, I guess like that's just my opinion, but super easy to use, literally exactly the same as the other MacBook little pad things, except it's bigger. And I can't remember if I said this before, but this has 256 gigs of storage. I could have upgraded to get either 512, 1 terabyte or 4 terabytes, but I just went with a 256 gig one just because, like I said, I have a hard drive, so whatever files that just don't fit on my internal hard drive, I will just put it in my external one, and I just prefer it that way because everything's backed up as well, and I just don't like clutter on my laptop. So that's why I went with the 256 gig one, because I knew that that would have been working fine for me, because I did have an external hard drive, which highly recommend. No matter what laptop you have, no matter what work you're doing, please invest in a hard drive, because it's going to save your life in the long run, and you can back up all your files and you don't have to worry about things going missing and like your laptop crashing or anything like that, because you've got everything like backed up. So I highly recommend investing in a hard drive. I will show you guys what hard drive I have. It's just this Seagate one. I got this from Officeworks. I think it was about like $80 or $90, I want to say, but it has 1 terabyte, which is a lot. So I've literally not even used half of this, probably like literally like a quarter or 1/5 of this, and I've had this for over a year now, and I have all my videos and footage and everything on here, and I have enough space, which is so great, because that means that my laptop doesn't have to get all cluttered, and I have all the footage of all my videos for a year on this hard drive, and I still have a ton of space. It's probably gonna last me a very long time. And also, this has 8 gigabytes of RAM. Again, I could have upgraded to get the 16 gigs, but I just thought 8 gigabytes of RAM was enough for me. Like, I'm not doing like hardcore video editing. Like, I'm not gonna be doing like full-on hardcore 4K editing or anything of that sort. I'm just doing like the basic normal YouTube video editing, like this kind of videos. So I didn't think that I would have needed the 16 gigs. I've already edited about 2 videos on this for the past week, and I found that the rendering was perfect. Like, everything went smoothly. I had no issues with like the speed or the storage or anything lagging or anything like that. So if you are a small YouTuber and you want to be editing on a MacBook, I would definitely recommend this base model MacBook Pro. Just the 8 gigabytes of RAM is like fine. 256 gig of storage is also fine if you have like an external hard drive. I feel like the speed works really well. The storage is great. The typing experience is amazing. The touch bar is super cool to use, and I just really love everything about this MacBook Pro, to be honest. And I would highly recommend it to you guys if you are in school, if you're doing work, if you're doing video editing, anything of that sort, and you're looking at getting a MacBook. I highly recommend the MacBook Pro 13-inch 2020. I will have a link to the exact MacBook that I got much in case you guys do want to pick up this exact one, because it is really great and it's definitely the best investment I made. I will also leave a link to the SD card reader that I got, as well as the little USB reader as well, in case you guys were looking for these exact ones, because this one is $50 and this one was $29. So I guess that concludes this little update and review of the MacBook Pro 13-inch 2020 version. If you guys have any more questions or anything like that, leave them in the comments down below and I will definitely respond to you. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed watching, and also be sure to subscribe to my channel down below. I post new videos every single week, and also stay tuned because I am planning on filming a MacBook customization video, which is going to be so much fun. So hopefully I will be able to film that in the next few weeks. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Also make sure you follow me on my Instagram and Twitter. I post a ton on there as well, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.